So today, I am waiting to do this. Okay, here's the thing. I thought since I was doing like mini reviews, like written reviews of the books I've read and I'm reading on my Instagram, that it wouldn't be as like good anymore, but no, I'm gonna do it anyways. So you can see the pure passion of either love or hatred in my eyes for these books. So I've read 5 books already this year. We're gonna have to quiet because I've become addicted to reading again. It's a good addiction though. It's a good one to have, but it's certainly happening. The amount I've spent on books already this year, a bit dangerous. And I'm already on my 6th. At the moment I'm reading The Midnight Library by Matt Haig, and if you've paid attention to my Instagram, you will know I love Matt Haig. Matt Haig wrote a self-help book for suicidal people, which I read last year, and he was like the only self-help writer that I don't hate with all my guts, plus Glennon Doyle, who I also love, because he spoke from the depths of his heart instead of in this like annoying fucking like you can do it tone that's like condescending and full of bullshit, which by the way, first book, we'll get into that. But this is a fiction book and I hadn't read any of his fiction stuff, and I'm already like a third into it after last night, which is when I picked it up. It's so good. It's so good so far, but obviously I have a lot to go, so I'm excited to see where that goes. And then I've already ordered another book, which better come quickly, but I don't think it will, which means I'll literally have to go and buy another one, because I am promising myself this year to have 0 days, where I do not have a book to read. Nada. That's my goal, and it's working so far. Is it breaking my bank a little bit? Yeah, but it's cool. I have a job. It's fine. And the book that I've ordered is the second one of the series of the one at the bottom, which I'll get into. Anyways, let's just get right into it. I'm so excited for this. Okay, so the first book that I read this year, which I got this on Christmas, so I started it on Christmas and then like continued it on like December 31st into the first like 2 days of the new year, is Get Your Shit Together by Sarah Knight. My mum got me this and I felt like she was saying, Mia, you are a fucking mess, which was fine by me. She knows I like my self-help books and I like judging people who write self-help books, because of this is the reason why I judge self-help writers, okay? It was bad. It was very bad. But I'm only keeping it because the cover is so pretty. Like, can you see how nice that is? I need to calm down a little bit. But it's written by Sarah Knight, and people like fucking Vogue and the Sunday Times magazine and Observer, The Guardian, Glamour, Mail, Sunday Times have all given it high praise. I've come to terms with the fact that the people that do that don't fucking know what they're talking about. Because Vogue saying it's genius, the fact that you given one word literally proves my fucking point. This book is full of shit. Oh yeah, did you see that? There's a colouring page in here which I went to fucking town on. Look at that. That's like a stained glass window, motherfucker. It's gorgeous. Anyways, when I say, listen, the aim of these books is good. It's a great thing to write books for people who need the help that you're writing about, right? Like, this book is obviously, when you read it, for people who have no motivation whatsoever, have no idea where to get started. Obviously, this isn't me. Like, this is clearly very not for me. But I read it anyway so I could do this, and that's great because people do need that, and I completely understand that. But when you let's just go to a random fucking page. When you speak like a cunt in a book, here, the pet peeve, I'm gonna break the back of this shit because I don't give a shit about this book, but like, you just gotta think ahead, or what's the word? Strategize, in italics with a fucking exclamation point. Why do you speak like that? Why? Why? Listen, throughout this entire book, she uses 500 different fonts. She puts random shit in italics and random shit in bold, and she has 100 conversations with herself. If I could strangle someone's like writing tone, writing voice, it would be this, okay? Go away. I cannot deal with it. I really cannot. If you want a good, okay, the best self-help books with the best writing that is so like emotional and real and raw and genuinely helpful for everyone, like just everyone, not just people who have no motivation, for everyone, Stay Alive by Matt Haig and Untamed by Glennon Doyle. Fucking brilliant books. Obviously the Stay Alive one is pinpointing at people who are suicidal, but you know what, that's not even spoken about that much, so I love him so much. But the Untamed is for religious people, mothers, LGBTQ plus people. It's for everyone. She covers everything and it's fucking brilliant. Anyways, I never want to pick up another Sarah Knight book in my life. Fuck off. It is a pretty cover though, I'll give you that. And then, oh my god guys, the second book that I read, I'm gonna cry thinking about this book. Oh, am I doing stars? That one, 2 stars. Literally doesn't even deserve 1, but anyways, I'm nice. This book, The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. Oh my god. Okay, listen. Last year, if you watched any of my book reviews, you can see there's a pattern, right? Like, I am super into biographies and non-fiction, and I got into that because I felt like I was growing up, and like that meant I had to get out of my like fiction era, which I hadn't like read a fucking book in years because I was the one writing them. Like, I wrote 5 books in 3 years, so like I wasn't focused on reading for so long until obviously then the pandemic hit and I wanted to get back into it. But I have been craving a fucking romance book that was about adults. I'm sick of fucking reading about people in high school. Please stop. I'm literally 20 this year. And also like all those fucking books are the fucking same. But anyways, about adults, real adults. And it was like the perfect balance of like cliche and unique enough. You know, like it had to be a unique enough story full of every single good romantic cliche. And this, everybody, this 5-star book is it. I read it in a day. I read it in one day. I read it in one sitting, and to say my obsession with this book, oh my god, it's so bad. Here's the thing, also, like, I obviously saw this on TikTok, and I have this thing where like I feel drawn to things, so like I felt very drawn to this book, but I didn't have high expectations because we all know I fucking hated The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. That book was boring as shit and the characters were fucking unlikable. This book, I'm in love. I'm back in my era of being in love with fictional men, because Adam in this book, I would die for him, okay? I love him so much. I'm a mess. And this book is basically about 2 scientists who, how do I put this? I don't want to spoil anything. It's the tropes in this book are fake dating. He's been in love with her for a long time. And yeah, there's more trope. He's very protective. That's like the trope, isn't it? Like protective boyfriend, like that's a trope. So just like all these perfect, beautiful tropes. And it was written so well. It was written simply, but it was written perfectly. No mistakes, no nothing. I loved it. 5 stars. I'm in love with you. Anyways, my favorite book on the fucking planet. And I love this cover so much, but I want like a beautiful like pastel cream like dust cover for it. Like, I saw someone who does like dust covers for books, and they did The Love Hypothesis and Seven Husbands, and even though Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is fucking awful, I'd buy that dust cover because it was so fucking beautiful. They're viral on TikTok, so you probably know what I'm fucking talking about, but I'm gonna get that dust cover. Even though I love this cover so much, that dust cover is needed. Anyway, fucking read that book, okay? Next. This book. Mwah. My first biography of 2022, and I am so glad it was this one. This is The Storyteller by Dave Grohl, who was the drummer for Nirvana and is obviously the lead man of Foo Fighters, which I love. So I had high hopes for this one, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't like pin my expectations down like I have to with most books, because I know Dave Grohl is a fucking awesome human being, so I had very high expectations and he met every single one. I cannot believe I've gone into this year with like the first 3 books, 2 of them are already 5 stars, but it really it's 5 fucking stars. I love this book so much. Here's the thing, it's not for everyone, because you know, unlike this, I can say everyone who likes romance will love this. It's the same thing for this. If you love biographies, you'll love this. Luckily, I fucking love every genre of book, so I'm gonna love every 5-star book that I read. But this book, oh my god! Here's the thing, right? So I don't know if you watched my reviews last year, but I read loads of biographies last year. I've obviously read Patti Smith's a while ago. That's my favorite biography of all time. Beautiful memoir. But I also last year I read Kurt's, which was very dark and depressing and emotional, and I read Jim Morrison's, and he was portrayed like a fucking dickhead. It was really hard to read, and it's such a thick book with the tiniest writing. Like, it was just really hard to read for so many reasons. But this one, oh my god, the absolute sheer beauty of this book. First of all, like, the writing, perfect. For a man that is a musician, he knows how to write a fucking book. Like, most people that are musicians really fucking don't. Like, famous people just don't know what the fuck they're doing. But, nah. This man knows what he's doing. And just, like, the way it's laid out is so beautiful. Like, the grey tones and, like, all of the black and white pictures. Chef kiss, gorgeous, beautiful, love it. And just like the way he describes things, and he puts things in, like, he writes so well that you can hear his voice. I have listened to this man's voice, as in speaking, not singing, very few times, you know, because I'm not entirely invested in every human being I listen to, but I can hear his voice. That is how good it is. And just like the chapters on him being a dad, and the just, you can see such a lovely human being, and like the chapters on spirituality. I mean, there's only really one, but like just like the chapters on death and everything. God, please just go read this, please. If you don't, I will do it again. It was definitely took me longer to read. I think with non-fiction books, it takes me longer to read them because I'm not like, oh my god, turn the page, what happens next? You know, it's more like reading the news, but still, absolutely love that book, love that man. Next we have You and Me on Vacation, otherwise known as People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. So this is yet another TikTok famous book. I'm trying them out, okay? I'm trying not to shame people on TikTok like I usually do, and I'm trying to read the books and see where everyone's coming from. With this book, I do get it. It was a very sweet book. 4 stars, not 5, just because it was nothing super special. It was nothing super unique. You know, like, I didn't read it the way I read The Love Hypothesis, where I was like utterly obsessed with the characters, where I was like, oh my god, I'm in love with you. However, it was very, like, the first chapter didn't capture me immediately, which pissed me off, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna like this. I'm someone who has to be captured like that, the way I was with The Love Hypothesis. But this book didn't capture me immediately, but then a few chapters in and I was like, okay, yeah, I like this, I don't mind this. And I kept reading, and it was very good. It was very sweet. It's written very well, obviously, very, very well. You know, proper writer, nothing along the lines of like a fan fiction, for example, because a lot of these books are written like that. And just more, I don't know, realistic, I guess, more realistic than The Love Hypothesis. You know, fake dating is such an unrealistic trope, but one I'm very much obsessed with anyways. Emotional, yes. I did read it very quickly. I think I read it in 2 days. It was very sweet. I have a very big soft spot for Alex in this book. He's a sweetheart, and I am in love with him too. But yeah, I do recommend this book. It's basically about two best friends, and they go on vacation with each other every summer, and then something goes wrong one summer a few years ago, and they stop talking, and then they start talking again, and they decide to go on vacation. Wow. Again. And then it all happens from there. Can I just say, if you are related to me, please skip the next like 30 seconds, but the sex scenes in these books, oh my god, this one especially, oh my god. I literally signed up to the author's newsletter because she was sending out a free fucking, oh my god, I can't even say it, his POV, because it's obviously from her POV, his POV of the sex scene, and whew, I'm deprived. I'm so deprived because holy fucking shit. Holy shit! I mean, this one was definitely more held back, but it was still good. But the Love Hypothesis one, oh my god. If you don't like, they're adult books, dudes. Like, I'm not reading fucking high school shit anymore, but like, if you're younger than me, I don't know. I don't want to go and tell you to go and read the sex scenes, but anyways, the last book on my list, my lovely obsession, has arrived with Crave. Crave by Tracy Wolff. This is a series, and I read this in 2 days. I love, okay, here's the real true story about this book, which I'm really afraid to tell. But 2 years ago, when the pandemic started, literally March, I was so bored out of my mind. My exams were cancelled and everything, so I had nothing to do. So I literally downloaded like a bunch of fucking like stupid fucking games and apps and stuff. And I literally downloaded fucking Choices or Episodes or whatever it's called. I think it's Choices that I downloaded. And the one that I downloaded, the app that I downloaded was really good because, and I don't like these fucking games, okay, but the one that I downloaded was really good because the stories that were on there that you could play were real books. And I remember playing this one called Onyx. I think it was Onyx. And it was like a superhuman, like supernatural kind of book. Not vampires, but like, it was about beings that were made out of light, okay? We're not gonna get into it. I got so obsessed with that book that I listened to 5 books on audio, like audiobooks, and I finished that series that year because I got so obsessed with the game I was playing. And then I come across another one after I finished that one called Crave, and it's only the first book, whereas like the other ones had like 3 out of 5, and then I found the audiobook, and this one didn't have an audiobook or anything. And after a few months, as usual, I got really bored of the app and just deleted it. But I promised to myself that I would get this book, and then like time passed and I forgot about it. And the author actually replied to me on Twitter when I first got into the app book, and I was like, I'm obsessed, I need the next one, please. And she was like, I'm writing as fast as I can. And I last year got very distracted and didn't have the time to go and get it. And I looked up the series now. There are 5 fucking books of the series when there was 1. So this is the first one, and I know I played the first book, which is this one, but I really wanted to read it because I didn't want to go and get the second one and the third one and the fourth one and the fifth one and not have the first book. Plus it been 2 years, so I wanted to jog my memory. Oh my god, I'm back to being obsessed with it. It's so good. It's so fucking good. And this one is based in like a boarding school, but it's so not the point. Like, I think she goes to one class in this whole book. It's ridiculous. Like, the plot is not for everyone because she literally, it's so unrealistic, but it is a fantasy book, so like I don't mind that. She literally tries to get killed every 5 seconds. She's a human going to a school full of like vampires and dragons and werewolves, and it sounds fucking ridiculous, but it's literally called New York Times, this is the one time I'll agree with the quotes in the book, called it this generation's Twilight, and it is. It's so good. It's so good. I'm sorry, I hate to say it, but it's so good. I just, every page I was turning it. I'm obsessed, but I'm so mad because I know what happens next in the next few books. I know what happens and I'm pissed off. If you don't want spoilers, please skip the next bit. Basically, she ends up with this guy called Jackson. Grace ends up with Jackson. Jackson's like the lead like vampire guy. He's fucking perfect. I'm in love with him. If he was real, I would literally die for him and marry him on the spot. But I'm this person, like, when you build a relationship with two characters at the beginning of a book and it goes throughout the entire book and they're both in love with each other, and then you stop that, because basically she ends up with someone else. I'm not going to spoil that much. I'm not going to say who. She ends up with someone else in the next book, and then like throughout the other books they stay together, from what I believed. But it makes me so mad because now I'm in love with Jackson and they already have a relationship and they're in love with each other, and it just makes me so mad. It makes me livid. It makes me so angry. But I'm gonna keep reading because I'm in love. I'm in love. There's literally nothing else I can say. It's so good. The thing is, there is one little thing. There were a few errors of continuity and typing. Just a few. Not spelling mistakes, but like just like the layout. Just a few, which bugged me a little bit, but hopefully, like, this was in 2020, so like hopefully her book's from 2021 and she's releasing like one on my birthday this year. Hopefully they'll be better, but I'm still obsessed. Just the plot of this book is fucking brilliant, and I'm a bitch for fantasy. Anyways, I spoke so much today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please, if you've read any of these or you go to read any of these, tell me what you think, because I put my review of Just Kids, which is my favorite book on the whole entire planet, on my Instagram, and someone said, well, several people said that they are now going to read it because of my review. So if you do go and read these because of me, or you have read them, please let me know what you think. I'd love to hear other people's opinion, unless it's that you don't like the love hypothesis, in which case please fucking die. I'm joking. Anyways, I love you guys so much, and I hope to see you in my next video. And I literally cannot wait to do another fucking book review soon. I'm really excited. I love doing these more and more and more and more and more. I love you guys. Bye. Mwah.